Let me tell you who Energy is and what they do. They're not only a national certified mediation and training agency that offers virtual services utilizing their guided traditional and non-traditional measures to create an empowering and rewarding experience, but they are also the fastest growing mediation company in 2025, now offering in-person mediation services in the Atlanta area as well as Charleston, South Carolina. Their primary services are corporate entities, civil and real estate, business and organizational partnerships, consumer disputes, and family mediation. Their primary coursework includes, which is virtual, 16-hour introduction to mediation, a 40-hour national mediator certification, and a CPA certification. Hey, what are you waiting for? Get in touch with the Energizer, someone who can impact energy and get on point.
I want to back up a little bit and talk about, you had asked me a couple of questions in regard to when you said, I can't
about
remember it
employers,
right now.
DEI,
Yes, the
new
DEI, homeowner, the employers, and the DEI, all of
and
those
what is
things.
the importance of having a relationship with the mediator even before you need one, right?
That is correct. Thank you. You read my mind. Because that is important, that you have someone that you can just go to and call and set up something, especially if you've been through mediation before and you've been through this rodeo. You already know what's going to happen and you've experienced it, so you know it works.
Right.
So that is important, and we want to be that person. We want to be that company that you call. Right now it's a team of 4 of us. We have 2 certified paralegals and mediators, myself and Kevin Dolby. And we have our faith-based team, which is Rev Donna. She leads that. And Minister Fane McKinney, he's also on that team. And we have the director of the Math for Mediation Department, Kevin Dolby. So, and myself, I run the professional side. So it's a team of 4 of us, 2 women and 2 men. So we got that.
Nice
so we
balance.
believe in that balance of power,
Yes.
So that's important for us. And the employer and employee disputes, just to piggyback off of that, I just want to say that if you're facing that and you're an employee, myself, I have been in your shoes. You have been in their shoes as an employee and working, and it is important. You're learning some skills. Your employer is teaching you skills that you will have forever.
That's right.
So we want to respect those relationships. So that's all I want to say about that.
And I always like how you tie it back to the onus of the employee, right? So we can't just go into a corporation. And it's funny because as a manager, I always manage to tell people, when we work together, like, so we work together, you don't work for me. We all work for this company. And so when we walk in the door in the morning, it doesn't say, Shae Corporation on the front of the building. So when we walk in here, we have to have that same energy that we had when we filled out that job application and got that phone call to say, congratulations, you've been hired.
That's right.
So now you
didn't
can't
sat there. You're right. That
keep
brings
the
me to
same
that.
energy.
Yeah, because you didn't sat there and you was praying for that job.
That's right.
And you was praying for it. And when God bless you, get it.
You called everybody up and that's right. Yes. You'd have made all the phone calls and oh girl, guess what, y'all? I got the job. Now you got the job, and sometimes we forget to still be grateful and, like you just said, and to continue to learn and grow, because nobody can take those skills from you. And now you put yourself in a position to be able to create on your own. If something's not working well there for you, now it's time for you to be able to create something on your own to say, this, if people say, well, this is how I would do it, but you didn't do it like that. So if you have the opportunity to do it like that, then make sure that you're being fair and legal and following, and not stealing their ideas and things like that, and then going on to bless your own business at some point. But I love how you keep, because you don't let people off the hook. It's not like, okay, it's always on the employer. And again, like, the CEOs might not know what's going on
That's true.
in on the entry level. So
Mm-hmm.
that's always very important. So I like that. I know I
Because
was
if
going
you
to
have an
say,
open communication, or if you hired a mediation firm such as ourselves, we're going to bridge that gap
right,
between
right,
you and your employer and reinforce what your HR department has
right,
stressed.
right,
But
right,
but at the same time, making sure that they're respected and they're continuing to grow.
right. So this sounds like a good opportunity for businesses that are starting out, that you know, have a acquired a reasonable amount of employees, to just make sure that everyone feels seen and heard. And but most important, to make sure that we're following the rules and guidelines, to be legal and to be
Yes.
safeguarded against anything that can harm us
Mhm.
financially. So that sounds like a good opportunity. So how do you build relationships, and who is it that you're looking? So who is your audience?
Right now, the public, we're moving into the public sector. It's not so secretive. Like, before we only worked with businesses,
Mm-hmm.
and corporations. So we were bogged down with that. So now we're working on an individual basis with individuals as well
Mm-hmm.
as continuing to our relationships with organizations, nonprofits, and corporations,
Okay.
and as we work with them. So our audience is anyone that would need mediation services. If you wanted me to give you like an age range,
Mm-hmm.
I would say starting at about 25.
Okay.
Typically, when you would come into some disputes, you're building your career and you have um, already built it to a certain degree. So I would say between 25, and my oldest client is 64.
Okay. I
The
think that
youngest
you can't
client,
put a cap on it with age, because
right? The
now you
youngest
got
client
people
I
who are working right.
right, the
Now you
youngest
have
client,
you have people who are in the professional world. You have people who are building and growing, like starting their own businesses, uh way at right out of high school, really. So
right.
I think
But
when
I
you
haven't worked
have
with anyone that young yet, but I would welcome it. We can
right,
learn from everybody. We can learn from each other.
right.
But our expertise is, we are certified paralegals, myself and Mr. Dolby, and we
Hmm.
have been doing this. This is what we do.
Okay.
So,
What else
working
falls
with
under the
young people.
umbrella of energy?
Well, right now we're focusing on our mediation
Okay.
department. We're focusing on that. But we are also, I do work with Kevin Doby. He also has his own company where he is a realtor.
Okay.
Now he's gone in that direction, and he is also finding houses and apartments for people
Okay.
in Atlanta.
I was
They
going to
say
say
about four.
a license out of Georgia. Any other?
Yes, he's
Okay,
licensed
good.
in
Okay.
Georgia. He can help you find a home. He does credit repair. And he's also our certified math for mediation director of our department. And I like working with him because what I do with him is I actually take some calls sometimes,
Okay.
maybe like once a week. I like talking to new people. So that's an
Yeah, don't I
opportunity for me
know
to
it?
do that.
I remember when I
So,
worked for Energy in the
oh,
first
you
time,
you
and
ready
how
to talk about it?
absolutely, and
Okay,
how
okay, look.
I learned so much in the realm of now I learned a lot about like your legal expertise at the time. I was able to learn a lot about how to format a lawsuit letter, or how to, ask the right questions to clients and make sure that everyone feels heard and seen, but also to make sure that I am heard or seen. So just moving to Georgia at one point, and being able to, you know, learn under you, it was a pleasure, because I watched how you started your business, and so really grateful for that opportunity. Absolutely. It is part of my journey. Definitely a part of my journey, and here for it. So at that point you were doing a lot of um homeowner relationships with realtors, and that
Mhm,
type of thing, to make sure that people were being responsible to pay the bills that they needed to pay. And I remember
mhm.
you getting on the phones, and not being too above, taking phone calls and giving me the opportunity to do some retreats for the company. And so I
Yes.
always value that and growth. Those are some things that you don't lose when
Yes. That's
when you
true.
no longer work in that seat, you still take all of those gems with you. So I want to
That's
give you your
true.
flowers for that.
Thank you. I
Mhm.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
I
for
do, I
sure.
do, I do. Um, so uh I can't remember what we were talking about before. Just full disclosure,
So yeah,
what we were talking about before.
we're kind of bouncing around
Because
because this is really such a good topic. You were talking about Kevin and
yes,
the
and
relationship.
finding apartments. Yes, so that's what I like to call. I get to call, like, I don't get to do it as much as I'd like because we're doing the mediation now and doing that, but talking to new people, I really like that. So I'm excited to go live so I can probably talk to some new people that I
Right.
haven't met or don't know me or what we do. They only see the little videos and stuff that like that. So that's exciting to, meet new energy,
Yeah, for sure.
hence the name of the company,
Keep
Energy
that same
Alliance.
energy. I like it. I
So
like it. So
yeah,
you
definitely.
as you are building and growing, I know with what you were saying with Kevin, being able to help people in Atlanta or in Georgia, we're not just going to cap it to Atlanta, but all over Georgia, find a place to live and dwell. I know that
Hmm.
that is something that people need right now. So they can contact
Definitely.
you to get through
Hmm.
to get the information from Kevin. So we definitely want to know, how do people connect with energy, get in touch with energy to even ask questions. Even no question is too small, right? So
Oh
there's
no,
no
not at
stupid,
all.
there's no
Mm-mm.
silly
There's
question. I don't
none
want to
of
use the
that.
word stupid,
Mm-mm.
but there's no silly question. So if
That is
people want to know, like,
correct.
what is mediation, or we talked about it a lot here, but maybe in this realm or in this time frame doesn't give a person enough. Maybe somebody's right now gonna be like, oh, I had an issue on my job, or I had an issue with an employee or employer, or I just bought a home. Like, wait a minute, what should I know? Definitely reach out to Energy. Angel, tell us how we can get in touch with you, stay in touch with you, connect with you, and grow with you.
Well, as you see, I got my YouTube up right here. This is
Hmm.
our YouTube page.
Okay.
You can see view your channel. This is our channel. You can find
Okay.
us right here, Energy Alliance at Energy 757. And we also are on TikTok now, hence we're going live on TikTok. Alliances and Energy is our TikTok. And my email is info@energy.com. That comes directly to me. And that's
Wonderful.
energy with three eyes instead of a Y.
I know, and I have the two eyes here, so now I'm feeling like I should have put the three
No,
eyes, but
it's okay though, because it was that energy but after the restructure, I had to include the disputant
okay, okay.
because, energy it's energy. Energy is combined. So that means that with energy, it's our team, you,
That's
and your
right.
disputant. So it's three eyes because we all matter.
I
All
love
three of
that.
us matter. So yes, so I had to add an extra eye, and I just wanted to just hit them with it, like the
Yeah.
energy. So
Energy. I love
so
that.
when
So
I
it take
saw
it.
it, I saw it with the three eyes, and I just added
Mhm.
another one. Initially with the two, but I just added another one with the restructure because, as you know, we're not doing any lawsuits or anything like that
Right.
anymore. We're just strictly focusing on the non-adversarial process, such as mediation.
Right. So now I have to ask you, how do you keep all of these things together as a mom of twins? You, first of all, you look like you don't even, you look like a baby yourself, but how do you keep it all
Speaking
together
says,
as
the looking like a baby herself.
looking like the
But
hello?
yeah, says the person that's looking like a baby herself. Yes.
Thank you, thank you. So how do you keep it all together? I know you are, I would say a newlywed, right? Because you're still
Yeah,
in
it's
the,
been
right? It's like,
5 years now, I
is that
think,
still,
three,
I call myself
four or
still a
five.
newlywed, right? I don't know if I'm ever going to not be. But how do you wear all these hats? How do you wear the hat of a mom of twins, an active entrepreneur? I know you have a strong connection to your mother and stay in love with your wonderful husband. How do you wear all these hats?
How do I wear all of these hats? Girl, God.
Yes.
Nobody but the Most High,
Yes.
and I I love my family. I love my
Yes.
mom, my mother-in-law, my family, my siblings. I love my family. You know
Yes.
what I mean? My aunts and uncles. And then I come from a community.
Mm-hmm.
I was raised community in a family community. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like it's different, because hence energy 757. I'm from the 757,
Okay.
but that's where I grew up. But I lived in Atlanta longer than I lived in my
Right. Right.
hometown in Virginia Beach. So, when you have that foundation of community,
Mm-hmm.
and being raised in how I was raised in the country,
Right.
in the church and community, and how it's so important, you're able to wear multiple hats because you have help.
Right, absolutely. That village, right? That village strategy works, and you don't see it a lot in the family a lot because everybody's like off doing their own thing, like so
Hmm.
busy and just working and forgetting about that value. I remember when I was young, people would send their my cousins or something would like go
Hmm.
down south for the summer to Virginia or South
Yes.
Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia and just have those summers with family and come back. Just had that country,
Yep.
country time
Hmm.
when it was household whole chores and everything wasn't so fast and things like that. So I think that that's a very important, and I'm glad that you're able to continue to pour that over as you raise your daughters. And I know that you had a long time between
Oh,
the
yes.
babies.
Woo.
You have like an
Like, what is
adult
it,
daughter.
20,
You have an adult daughter, but I don't call
24?
them kids anymore when they're adults. I call
Mhm.
them our adult sons and daughters who just had a baby. So your babies are growing up almost like
Yeah.
siblings.
With the grandmother. I'm a
Yeah.
grandmother. Yes.
Yes. And so I think
Hmm.
that's good that they'll all grow up to you know, to have that value of what family looks like. And
That's
then
true.
that your granddaughter and that your twin daughters will have a connection because they're all around the same age. But I love that for you.
Thank you. I do too. And I love it for you too, being a grandma.
Yeah, yeah. So
A
for
new
me, the
grandma.
difference is I have seven grandchildren, and I have my daughter, who is my blood, has my granddaughter, and so that Lotus, who's here with me now. So the blessing of being able to work for yourself and work from home.
Yes.
So you probably hear her in the back having fun, and there's nothing I want to do about it, right? I'm not
That's
going to
right. Nothing you want
do
to do
anything. There's
about it. I
nothing I
love
want to do
it.
about it.
You
So
don't
if
want to be like,
somebody
shh,
watches and they say,
be
well, she could
quiet,
have
all
at
that stuff.
least,
Mm-mm.
well, these moments to me are priceless and precious.
They
And so I'm
are.
just very grateful to be able to have these moments and all of my grandchildren. I love them all dearly. But the difference is that when you have a blood legacy, you have a responsibility. I have a
That's true.
responsibility to all of my grandchildren, but I have a different type of responsibility for Lotus because
Hmm.
she
You carried
belongs to
her.
me. You know what I
You
mean? And
carried
they
her.
all do, right? They all do, but they may have other grandparents to connect with, and so that's why this is very important for me too.
You know what I mean when I say you carried her,
I
right?
carried it absolutely because when
Because
I
you
carried my
carried
daughter,
Ebony.
yeah.
Yes, and she right.
And
That's a
so,
beautiful.
that's the
Carrying
beauty and
generations
brilliance
is
of it. Right. And I
beautiful.
like that because that is that's what gives it um the difference, if I'm being honest, right? There's
Yep.
no the love is just really genuine for all of my babies, always will be. This baby is different because I carried her right.
Yep,
Right.
because you carried her. That's
Yeah.
right.
So
Mhm.
anyway, as we move on, I'm just really excited to see where energy goes. Everybody knows
Me
now that you can
too.
log on to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribing. Let's support each other. It doesn't cost anything to go on and subscribe.
Mhm.
Let's try to get to that first 100 subscribes. With
Oh
if
yeah,
you're
that would be
seeing this,
good.
yeah, let's
Hmm.
help energy get to that first 100 and then just take off from there. If you know someone who's looking for mediation services, make sure that you're guiding them in the direction of Energy Alliance right here on YouTube or on TikTok. Make sure that you're joining Angel as she's starting to go live and she is giving wings to energy and all of her team. We just wish you all of the best. And I can't wait to
Thank
connect with you
you.
again. I know that in the next 30 days, I do want to come back with you and
Okay.
kind of have like a part two because I did have some questions drawn up for you, and I want to maybe ask some additional questions based on holding people out there to say, you're looking for businesses to support at this time. We're not supporting certain businesses, and you're looking for businesses to support. Maybe in these businesses, you have questions on either way, on either side, employee, employer. And so I definitely want to connect with you again. But right now, I thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time, and thank you so much for allowing me to attend Faith Over Fear. This is I think this is my first podcast. I'm just not really, this is different for me. I'm used to being in person. Like, let me give you my energy and show you who I am in person. But this is different, but I welcome it because
I'm thinking I see a podcast in your future, but I do have one more question for you. As we close out, I know when we came on and I introduced you to say that you are the CEO of Energy with 3 eyes, and it's growing. You have a wonderful team, strong team behind you, or that stands beside you, I should say, and stands with you. And I know that I introduced you as a mom, a wife, a daughter, a business owner, entrepreneur. But right now, I want to take a moment. This is the signature question on Faith Over Fear, is and allow you to reintroduce yourself. So when I say to you, who are you becoming? When I say reintroduce yourself, I want to know who you haven't who you haven't become yet, but who you are becoming. And so not the things that you've done, not the things that we've celebrate you and give you your flowers for today, but I want you to speak to me as if you've already become. What do you see in your vision? Speak to me right now. Reintroduce yourself to me as though the vision that you have for yourself in 5 years has already become. So, Angel Wiggs of Energii Alliance, here it is. Reintroduce yourself. Who are you becoming?
I am becoming a worldwide mediator in 3 different languages. That's who I'm becoming.
Whew.
Our team is becoming a nationwide, not only because we're nationwide now, but worldwide mediation firm in 3 languages.
What are those 3 languages?
The 3 languages are the Spanish, Creole, and Chinese.
Oh, come on now.
I want to learn how to speak the hardest language.
Right.
The hardest, or Mandarin. Mandarin is hard too. I tried that when it's
so guess what? You got all the languages. You are a mediation company with every known language, because even if you don't speak it, there's so many resources that you can use to be able to communicate with people worldwide, globally.
Yes.
So
and show them our tracks, our paths, and how we do it.
That's right. I see that for you. I see you walking in that light, and I celebrate you in advance. And thank you they heard it here first. So thank you for
Yes, they did. They heard it here first. Thank you so much, Shannon. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Big up, much respect, and let your light continue to shine. We're just so grateful to see you walking in your gifts and your talents, and not being afraid of to shine your light. Don't dim your light for anyone, with your bold energy and your beautiful way about yourself. Continue to grow, continue to blossom, continue to have that high energy, and most of all, keep becoming. Thank you so much for your time.
Peace. Beautiful.